Sigma is Hero 31. His abilities are awesome, he's super cool, so let's get into his gravitational abilities and more. My name is Nate, and welcome to Blizzard Guides. There's a lot of really interesting info about this hero, and Siegel's playing him live on stream with Jeff. He hit PTR, so I'm going to make this video to highlight his abilities and what I think about this hero and where his place in the meta is going to be and everything really interesting about this hero. So let's get right into this video. So first off, his abilities. His primary fire is the Hyper Spheres, which launches 2 charges which explode and they can bounce. Just check this out, look. You throw 1-2, it bounces. Bounce, bounce. It does 60 damage a pop, which means you can do 120 damage if you land 2 directs like this. Just like that. It's pretty actually insane. Other than that, there's really not that much to his Hyper Spheres. Next up, we're actually going to talk about his Kinetic Grasp. It absorbs projectiles in front of you and it converts them to shields, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the projectiles get destroyed like D.Va. It just means that you take the damage, and instead of actually taking damage, it turns into shield. So you see right there, I gained 16 from that. So it's not quite that much. I assume the conversion ratio is like 50%. So if you do, take 100 damage, you get 50% shield. We'll see how that works. I'm not exactly too sure, but it's pretty cool. It's actually really strong. I don't think we'll actually use that for like blocking damage. It might be more like Orisa's Fortify, where you're using it to defend damage and protect yourself instead of trying to protect your team from damage, but we'll see how that's used. Next up, let's talk about his alternate fire. His experimental barrier. You right click, and you hold right click, and then you let go, and he will place a shield right there. And you can cancel it by pressing right click again, and that will allow your shield to charge. So if I place my shield right here, and then I let go, place it, and then I let go of right click. Once the shield starts taking damage, if I remove it, in a sec it'll start charging back. So much like Reinhardt's shield, it will charge after you're not taking damage. And then finally, his last ability, Accretion. This ability is just crazy. I'll show you guys first. You ready? It's a CC, but it looks really cool. You throw a giant rock. It's telegraphed, so I assume that it's pretty easy to dodge and everything. It won't be that bad, but it's really, really cool. If you do it at close range, you actually don't knock them back, and you just merely do damage. It kind of is just a knockback boop, but that's pretty interesting. And then finally, for his ultimate ability, let me get some ult charge up here and then I'll show you guys. So he doesn't actually have that much range too, by the way. Okay, so his ultimate is called Gravitic Flux. I don't know how to say it, but it's really interesting. So you will float up into the air, pick up enemies, and knock them into the ground. Let me show you. Hey, you. Woohoo! Yeah. Dude, it looks so cool. This makes me so excited to watch. It's really cool. So that's pretty much it for Sigma. There's not that much else that you need to know about him, except for the fact that he has no shoes. You can see his toes. So, some communities of Overwatch will enjoy that. I particularly won't, but hey, that's a thing. So there's that. He actually floats, so he doesn't have footsteps. He's the only other hero in the game aside from Zenyatta, so he's the first tank that doesn't have footsteps. So while he doesn't have a passive, that's technically a passive ability in my book, so that's really good to know. And he's actually the tallest hero in the game, so he's taller than Reinhardt, which means that his headshot hitbox is really easy. So I don't know if this guy will necessarily be tanky enough to be a main tank, so we'll probably see him in the off-tank slot a lot more. But you never know, so we'll see about that. I personally think that he will be played with another main tank, probably something like D.Va or maybe Monkey even, because he's a high damage dealer. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because he doesn't have that much movement abilities. We'll see. Honestly, this is definitely much like Hamster, where we just didn't know what kind of role he would fulfill. But it's really cool to see. I'm super excited for this hero, and that's all I have for you guys today. I'll put some more gameplay in the background of Siegel playing Sigma, so you guys can see that. But otherwise, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm so hyped for this hero, man. This will be a really, really good change for Overwatch, and I can't wait. So thank you guys for subscribing to our channel. Be sure to check out our Discord in the description down below, right next to our Twitter and Instagram, so you can get followed. And a big thanks to our Discord Nitro Boosters for boosting our server. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Have a nice day. My name is Nate, and this was Blizzard Guides.